NK Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school basketball, where the Greenville Green Wave will take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Cargill, and NK Telco. We're here live at the Nest, at the Hive, I should say, not in New Bremen, here at Sidney High School, where the Greenville Lady Green Wave will take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. My name is Brandon Coverman, alongside me, Dave Kanapke. And Dave, starting the second round here of Miami Valley League play, and Sidney beat Greenville 46-23 on November 29th. Greenville coming into this game 5-7, sitting at 2-6 overall in league play. They won 3 out of their last 5 games here tonight, looking to get a Miami Valley League win.
Yeah, Greenville, that lost to Sidney back in late November, that started a 5-game losing streak. But you take that out, they still won the first 2, lost the next 5, and then they're 3-2. You know, they have trouble with the press, and that's going to be a weakness with their ball handling. They have some good bigs. Megan Lynn averages 9.5, and Brooke Schmidt averages 6.1. She also leads the Miami Valley League in rebounding. 11 rebounds a game. She's also the second in blocks. So Brooke Schmidt, a pretty solid post player for Greenville.
And Sidney on the other side, they're sitting at 9-3, 8-1 overall in league play. They're sitting at top of the Valley Division, still on a pretty good roll. They did fall and had their long Miami Valley League win streak snapped by Vandalia Butler before the new year. But Coach Jamal Foster still with a pretty solid roster this year.
Yeah, great team, very fun team to watch. A 30-game winning streak was snapped by Butler. Then they turned around and lost to Tri-Village. And so this last Saturday, they snapped that 2-game losing streak, beat Tip by 24, played a all-around good game. Overall, Jordan Scully leading the league in scoring in 17, and Kara Hudgens just does everything, a little bit of everything: assists, steals, and scoring.
We'll kick it down for our national anthem. We'll come back with starting lineups and keys to the game here next on NK Telco Sports.
Carriage Works has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. Carriage Works thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. Carriage Works now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. Carriage Works has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for Carriage Works. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Back here on NK Telco Sports as we get ready here for the game here tonight, this Miami Valley League showdown. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here. First for the Greenville Lady Green Wave, sitting at 5-7 and 2-6 overall in Miami Valley League play. A 5'4" junior number 2, Avery Bauman, averaging 5.5 points a game. A 5'6" sophomore number 4, Jada Lyons, averaging 1.7 points a contest. A 5'3" freshman, Megan Loudy, averaging 9.3 points a contest. A 5'11" junior letter winner, Megan Lind, averaging 9.5 points a game to lead Greenville. And rounding out the lineup, number 30, Brooke Schmidt, a 6'2" junior, averaging 6.1 points a game. And as Dave mentioned, leading the Miami Valley League in blocks at 11.4 rebounds, leading in rebounding at 11.4 rebounds per game. The head coach of the Greenville Lady Green Wave is Rachel Kearns. Now the starting lineups for the Sidney Yellow Jackets under head coach Jamal Foster in his 5th season in charge of the Yellow Jackets. A 5'4" senior number 1, Kara Hutchins, averaging 10.9 a contest. 5'10" junior number 22, Khalees McNeil, 6.1 points a game. 23, Jordan Scully, averaging 16.7 points a game, leading the Miami Valley League in scoring. Number 14, Jada Schroyer, averaging right at a point a game. And rounding out the lineup, number 4, Larkin Vordemark, averaging just right on the dot, 13 points a game. Again, head coach of Sidney in his 5th season, 2007 graduate of Sidney, Jamal Foster. He is assisted by Ron Ivey, Katie Mays, and Caitlin Davis. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Greenville Lady Green Wave.
Yeah, Coach Kern, she wants to handle the Sidney pressure, especially the full court, be better all around offensively. Hope to close the gap in the first game. They lost by 23, but at halftime they were down 32-4 the first time they played. And for the Yellow Jackets, they want to do, their keys are always defensive pressure, force the tempo, and control the boards. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
They get off to a fast start, and they turn the ball over here on Grandparents' Night here at the Hive.
Yeah, pretty neat. They had all the grandparents out walking there. That's some neat to see. I've never been to a school that had Grandparents' Day. Those grandparents are some of the most dedicated fans for these players.
Exactly, and there's a steal by Hutchins trying to go to the basket. Her shot rolls in, and Kira Hutchins kicks off the scoring.
Yeah, she's impressive. Leads the league in assists, 2nd in steals, and 4th in scoring.
The definition of a floor general right there, doing all the hard work, and still 4th in the Miami Valley League in scoring, as well as they're going to get a tip there, and it's going to be, I thought Hutchins might have tipped the ball, but it's going to be a turnover.
2 turnovers already. This is every team's nightmare. Sidney isn't just Greenville has problems. A lot of teams have problems handling this pressure as Greenville will drop back, and it looks like into a box and one. I had a game when they played Stebbins. They did this. Stebbins was pretty effective on this for a while. I imagine Scully has seen that a lot this year.
Yeah, and try to really face guard her there. They get a screen to get the ball to Scully. Then get it over to Larkin Vordemark. Back to Hutchins. Try to get it to Vordemark, and they turn it over on the inside to Brooke Schmidt.
Yeah, good defense. The defense, junk defense if you will work that time.
We'll see how long they try to stay in it. We'll see if they stay in it consistently here throughout the game. Greenville working on the inside here. They give it out to Schmidt on that right wing. Schmidt goes back at the top of the key. Trying to look at their options here. Lind with the basketball. Lind, one of the captains on this team. Gets it on the inside, going to the basket. Shot no good. They said Khalees McNeil was straight up. She gets the basketball going down the right side, and Khalees McNeil gets the bucket.
McNeil played good defense on the defensive side, rewarded with a layup.
Played nice straight-up defense. She is probably the post-defense catalyst for his team, as you would say. Their guards do a pretty good job in really getting pressure, but McNeil, does a nice job on the inside.
A very athletic team. They can run with anybody, and when they have to set it up, they do a nice job of running their half-court offense as well.
Greenville will bring the basketball up. Sidney in the man-to-man defense here. Trying to work the basketball around here. The basketball is Avery Bauman. He goes on that right side, goes over to Jada Lyons. Lyons being guarded by Jada Schroyer. Got that count on, and it's 5 seconds. No movement of the basketball there, causes a Greenville turnover.
I think she just lost track of time there. Lyons is like trying to wait for somebody to cut. It wasn't happening, and those 5 seconds tick by pretty quick if you just stand there.
5:35 to go in the first quarter. Here, Sidney leads 4-0 as they do stay in that box and one, does Greenville.
Usually teams do box and one when there's one top scorer and nobody else, but they've got 2 turnovers. Usually you have somebody, if somebody scores 20 and nobody scores over 10, well, Sidney's got 3 double-digit scorers.
Yeah.
But it's that 2 times they've turned it over against that defense.
Work the ball up ahead over there to Megan Lynn. Shot no good in the lane. Khalees McNeil clears the boards. Hutchins tries to work it up to Vordemark, and Sidney trying to work a little too fast or just a step behind.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. They're trying to make something. They're trying a little bit too hard to make it happen. Maybe the first time they played, they overwhelmed Greenville that they thought it was just going to come easy the second time.
Greenville with the basketball, trying to work up ahead here. Ball up the floor. Trying to go to the basket. Shot thrown up. No good. Hutchins with the rebound. She's fouled in backcourt there by Lyons. That'll be the first foul of the game.
Greenville 0 for 3. Overall, you look at their stats. They're not a very good shooting team. Only shoot 29% on the field goals, 18% on their threes, and 46% on their free throws. So not very good offense there, but the box and one defense working out all right. See if it happens this time as well.
Hutchins, the basketball. They're still staying in that box and one. Sidney's set up pretty deep here on the wing with the basketball. Scully in the corner to Hutchins. Look, you can try to get that ball to McNeil, maybe try to force her to make a move to the basket. Vordemark with it. Kicks it out, Jada Schroyer. She's going to take the shot off the mark. Vordemark with the rebound in the cleanup.
Nice job by Vordemark. She had her player boxed out. Easy layup.
Vordemark with 2 points now. 3 different Jackets with a field goal apiece at 6-0 Sidney. 4:13 to go here in the first quarter on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And there's a foul. It's going to go against Hutchins. And that'll be Sidney's first team foul here. No substitutions yet on this side, on either side, halfway through the first quarter.
About halfway through. Sidney with a pretty solid bench.
Get the ball to Schmidt on the inside. Does not get the roll. Going up, shot no good. So it was Lynn that missed it, and then Schmidt that missed the second one. Scully on the inside, passes to Schroyer. Gets it over to Vordemark. Off the iron, no good. Nice recovery defense there by Greenville. It looked like Sidney was going to get a transition bucket. Greenville with the basketball, trying to work it around. It's over to Megan Loudy. We got a timeout by Coach Rachel Kearns. All timeouts are brought to you by our sponsors here at Precision Strip. We'd like to thank those sponsors for our coverage here tonight. They are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Butts Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. This timeout is brought to you by Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Dave and I will name at the end of the game, is brought to you by NK Telco. Our mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Green Lake Health Systems. And our live view sponsor here right in Sidney is Cargill. 6-0 here with 3:39 to play here in the first quarter. Sidney ahead of Greenville.
Coach Rachel Kearns with the timeout. She's had a pretty good career at Greenville. Back in 2018 was Southwest District Coach of the Year. So that's a lot of competition when you win that with all the teams and coaches in the Southwest District.
Sidney gets a tip and just losing their footing there. That's Avery Bauman.
That's 4 turnovers for Greenville, but surprising. Look at the stat sheet. Sidney has 1 more turnover than that. So
yeah,
Coach Foster has an .821 winning percentage going into this year, directing traffic.
Kendall Dickman in the lineup now for Sidney. Shot no good on the inside. It's going to be Greenville basketball. Said it went off McNeil last. And Sidney here going to bring their full court man-to-man pressure. Try to bring the ball to middle, reverse course. Hand it off. And there's a foul. It's going to go in Scully.
No, it's going to go offensive foul there on Ballman. I got to go beyond. They call an illegal screen on that one. She was trying to screen. She moved over right in front of it, kind of moved her hip there, and when you have that screen and it's illegal right in the middle of the court, it's very easy for the referee to see.
Bauman with that foul. It's the second one on the Greenville Green Wave. Ball back up over to Larkin Vordemark. In the corner, Hutchins. She'll fire 3, too much on it. Scully will get the long rebound. It's the thing with that boxing one, it's kind of like a zone where it's just difficult to rebound in. That's one of the downsides of playing it.
Yeah, it's hard to find your player to box out. Another chance here for Sidney.
Get the ball over to McNeil on the elbow. Back over to Vordemark. Larkin Vordemark, scoop shot, and she walked.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump there, not enough for a foul. Looked like she had to take too many steps there for another turnover.
Baseline's free there. Or sorry, sideline's free there. We'll get away with it. Will be Megan Loudy. Try to get it on the inside. Shot thrown up, no good. Greenville still yet to score with 2:11 to go here in the first quarter.
When Greenville shoots, they're not really squaring themselves up. They're just kind of throwing it towards the basket, and not real chance there in this area. Now 0 of 6 from the field. They had 1 point blank range. I think it was Schmidt that missed it, but other than that, they really haven't been close.
Vordemark with the basketball, and they're going to call an illegal screen against Khalees McNeil.
7 turnovers against Sidney. They currently have more turnovers than points. I'm sure Coach Foster isn't happy with what he's seen so far.
Trying to get the basketball in. Here comes Greenville. Coming up here is Loudy. Megan Loudy trying to go to the basket. Loudy picks it up, throws it up. Shot no good. Rebound goes down to Larkin Vordemark. Vordemark goes up that right side. Vordemark stops, fires a 3. Off the mark, no good. Quick possession there for Sidney as they pick up the basketball. And it'll work back over to Avery Bauman. And they're calling a legal screen there. And they're calling all the movement here tonight. They've established that pretty early here, have the officials.
Yeah, it's 3 of them with a matter of a couple minutes on the clock. You don't see that very often, but probably every one of them was a moving screen.
And as long as you're showing consistency, and they've established that, and they're going to call another one. That's 4 of them they've called here. That's going to go against Kendall Dickman.
Wow.
And the thing is you got to establish. You can't just set and then go. It's not. You can't just set. You got to actually sit there and sit in a stance there for a second, and you can't move.
And if you're the refs, it doesn't matter how many times you called it before. It's a moving screen. It's whatever violation is, you got to call it. So give it out to the refs. They're being consistent.
Yeah, they called it both sides. Shot no good. Trying to clear on the inside. Shot no good up there by Megan Lind. Hutchins trying to work up the court. Gets up over to Vordemark. Low scoring. Offensive struggle this first quarter. Dickman kicks it out over to Scully. Scully's been getting face guarded this whole game.
I don't think she's gotten a shot off.
No. Hutchins takes the 15-footer. Shot no good. Bauman tries to push the ball up. It's tipped. Wild scrum for the ball. Greenville going to come away with it, and Hutchins going to be called for a foul.
Second foul on Hutchins. It's quickly coming up from the bench. It'll be Jada Schreier take Hutchins' spot.
Schreier comes back in quickly here. Try to get on the inside of Vordemark. It's tipped away and taken away. Khalees McNeil. Over to Jordan Scully. Scully cross-court pass over to Schreier, back to Dickman. Dickman back to Schreier, 6-0 here. 12 seconds to go here, first quarter. Scully to Dickman. Vordemark tries to go on the inside to Schreier. The jump shot off the iron, no good. Rebound, Dickman. Can they get a shot off in time? No, they cannot. Wipe that bucket away. It's 6-0. Sidney over Greenville after 1 quarter of play. We'll step aside and come back with the second quarter of action here next on your home for Sidney Yellow Jacket basketball and K-Telco Sports. Back here on NK Toko Sports, and it's 6-0 Sidney on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And A sloppy first quarter there.
Sloppy with a capital S. Just not very good at all. 7 turnovers for both teams. Greenville 0 of 9. Sidney 3 of 10. And have another turnover there against Sidney. Rebounding in favor of Sidney 9-6, but just it hadn't been pretty. It was 6-0 pretty early. I don't think Sidney scored probably for half a quarter.
Yeah, you're right. As teams trade turnovers to start the second quarter, Cameron Edwards in the lineup here.
That boxing one is kind of throwing them off there. I saw when they did the boxing one against Scully, against Stebbins, and she had trouble getting in the movement. And there's going to be a foul on Scully, I believe. Sometimes you get the rhythm off. And Greenville's done a nice job there. They have a lot of turnovers, but they're not getting in the backcourt or getting live ball turnovers. Yeah. They're doing a lot of screening to free up their guards. Just some careless passes in the front court.
Bauman handles it in, and stepping on the line there is Lynn. Lynn, the senior captain or junior captain, averaging 9.5 a game, leading all scorers for Greenville, and Coach Rachel Kern. 5-7 on the year.
Yeah, just came off a loss to Parkway. It's funny, they lost to Parkway. It was Division III. Game before that, they beat Piqua, much bigger school, but Parkway's a pretty good team. Gave Minster a really good run. They have a pretty good record. They're around like 7-3, something like that.
Scully goes left side to Schroyer. Schroyer trying to go on the inside. They're going to call a foul there against, looks like it's going to go against number 2 Lions, and we get a timeout by Coach Jamal Foster. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'd like to remind you that NK Toko Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Toko Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 153, January 11th at 6 p.m., and on Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503, January 24th at 2 p.m. and January 25th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games live via pay-per-view through nktoko.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktoko.com/sports. So coming out of the Precision Strip timeout, Sidney ahead 6-0.
Coach Jamal Foster calling a timeout. I'm sure there's a lot of things they want to regroup. I'm sure there's some adjustments they want to make. I think sometimes you have this when the first time you play a team and you blow them out, and then it's like, I'm sure that Sidney may not have been that fired up to play this game, come in a little bit flat, and Greenville is determined to play better than what they did, and this is what you get.
Vordemark trying to straddle the baseline. It's turned over to Greenville. They'll bring it up the floor. Bauman is up. 3, right wing. Too much mustard on that there for Megan Loudy. Scully gets it on the inside to Schroyer. She can't corral it, and the turnovers continue.
Yeah, that was a nice pass there to Schroyer. Just went off of her hand, and whatever could go wrong tonight has gone wrong.
Ball over to Loudy, being guarded by Scully. Scully's got to watch it here with those fouls. We got one here, and we got a timeout by Coach Rachel Kern. She'll take a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 6:41 to go here in the first half. Sidney up ahead of Greenville 6-0 here on the First National Bank Think First Scoreboard. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors on home of Sidney basketball here, NK Toko Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Back here on NK Toko Sports, 6:38 to go here in the first half. And the offensive struggle is still continuing here as we have another turnover. It's a backcourt violation.
The defense there by Scully, and guard for Greenville just was too close and lax with the midcourt line. 10 turnovers now on Green Wave, or actually 10 turnovers on both teams.
Vordemark trying to go on the inside, hands it off to Cameron Edwards, who tries to go off the glass, no good. Ball kicks down to Hudgens, who skies to the basket and ends the scoring drought.
Drought went about 6 minutes, and Hudgens with a nice drive to the basket for the 7th and 8th point.
Man, that'll get Sidney rolling here a little bit with 6:05 to go in the first half. It's an 8-0 lead, and we got a 10-second violation on Greenville.
It seemed like a short 10 seconds. I'm sure it just seemed that way. Referees were counting, and it doesn't take much against this Sidney pressure. Let's see if Sidney can make back-to-back scoring possessions here.
Vordemark with it, goes back to Hudgens. Hudgens back over to Vordemark. And they're still not letting Scully work here, and they're trying to run screens on the block for Scully to get her open. They get it to McNeil, over to Vordemark on the inside, shot blocked. While Karem's down to Khalees McNeil, who throws it up. Shot no good to Vordemark, who goes up, and she's fouled.
Had some nice passes there. There's a good block in there by Schmidt. We talked about it, one of the league leaders in blocks. And Larkin Vordemark changed 2 foul shots.
2 free throws here for Larkin Vordemark. Vordemark again averaging 13 points a game here. Sidney as a team shooting a pretty respectable 67% from the line, which is pretty solid for most squads.
And Vordemark shooting 69% from the line for the year. It's the first. You know, if you can get that 65 to 70%, that's a pretty good range for a high school team.
And she cans both on cue. Sidney up 10-0 now with 5.5 minutes to go until halftime. And there's a foul. And Vordemark called for it. And that's the second foul on Sidney.
Vordemark rolled her eyes, didn't exactly agree with that call. She had a lot of ball there, but referees thought otherwise.
Schmidt with the rebound, or with the inbound. It's up over to Bauman. She stops in the lane, kisses it off the glass. And with 5:22 to go here in the first half, Greenville gets on the board. Vordemark tries to get it right back and will take a return trip to the free throw line.
Larkin Vordemark, from what I hear, also a very good soccer player as well. He's been playing in some tournaments out of state. Missed one of the games because of it. Very good prospect and pretty good basketball player as well.
She gets the home roll here at the Sidney Gymnasium, and the brand new kind of renovated Sidney Gymnasium, new bleachers, new floor here.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. It really has given the Hive a new coat of paint. It's looking much brighter than what it was, a little more alive. Nice job by whoever was in charge of doing it.
Ball inbounded to Schmidt. Back over to Bauman, who just got the first score of the game for Greenville. Being guarded by Jada Schroyer, who checks in the ball game for Jordan Scully. And Scully, like I said, has been pretty much a non-factor. I don't even think she's got a shot off, like you said, Dave.
Yeah, she's been held under wraps.
And fouled is Bauman. And Bauman will go to the line and shoot 2.
Bauman had the basket before. Greenville's not getting bad shots. Their form's not really good, but maybe they'll settle down as well as Bauman. A 5'4" junior averages 5.5 points on the season with 2 foul shots.
Bauman's first free throw, no good.
Greenville as a team, only 46% from the free throw line. Bauman, one of the better ones at 56%.
Bauman splits the free throws. 12-3 here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 4:48 to go here till halftime. Sidney ahead. In this Miami Valley League showdown against Sidney leading the Valley Division. Greenville in the Miami Division. McNeil with it. Gets the ball back over to Kira Hudgens. Whips it over to Jada Schroyer. Now this defense becomes a little more active now. And I think Coach Foster wants to get a look without Scully on the floor what Greenville's going to do.
Sometimes a way to get out of that box and one mentality is take that player out, and then the the other team forgets about it. You don't have to focus about it. The other players just runs through their regular offense.
Watermark gets a shot fake. Greenville in a zone defense, looks like here. Tries to thread the needle to McNeil. Shot up and in. Khalees McNeil with the bucket.
Great assist there by Vordemark. She kind of leaned around players. Hit a great pass right when McNeil could just catch and shoot.
Sidney apply a little light pressure in the backcourt. Pass well up. Vordemark playing good defense. Ball flipped over there to Schmidt. Schmidt going to hand it off over to Bauman. Trying to make a move, goes to that left side, kicks it in the corner. Ball to Schmidt, and Schmidt's foul before she goes up. Probably a good foul for Sidney, otherwise Schmidt would add an easy 2 points there.
Yeah, you're right. Cameron Edwards with her first foul, only the 4th foul, so no shooting here. Coming in the game, Kendall Dickman, number 11, also Jordan Scully coming back in as well for the Yellow Jackets, as well as Olivia Foy, a freshman, into the game.
And Jada Lyons coming in as well for Greenville. We saw Foy a little bit in that JV contest with 7 points. It was won by Greenville. Shot is good on the inside. The Greenville offense has picked up a little bit.
Yeah, nice move there by Megan Lynn, her first 2 points.
Lind again the leading scorer at 9.5 a contest. Vordemark back out as Scully back in the game. Vordemark rips through. Dickman touched it on her way out. And Dickman would have just let it roll out, and I think it would have stayed Sidney basketball.
You know, it's easy for us to see that, but on your floor, you just see it going out of bounds and try to grab it.
Good defense by Dickman. Foy with the rebound. Kira Hudgens trying to work it up the floor. Hudgens working up quickly. Shot is good and one.
Nice move by Hudgens. That's a signature play. She likes to drive, and she's not afraid to get some contact. It's able to get her to the line like right here.
Kira Hudgens with a chance to add on here on the old-fashioned three-point play to her total here tonight. She's tied with, she's actually tied here with Vordemark with a game-high 6. And she can't hit the free throw there. Greenville working it up ahead. Nice pass in transition. And that bucket made there by Jada Lyons.
Nice fast break by Greenville for the easy bucket.
Pace is picked up. 3 from Vordemark, no good. Hudgens gets the rebound. Kicks it back to Vordemark. Scully tries to cut to the basket. They're still face guarding her. You get the ball to Dickman on the inside, no good. Vordemark tries to clean it up, but a foul called on Brooke Schmidt.
So Vordemark did a lot of that offense, some nice passing, and she will go to the line for her 5th and 6th free throw here this quarter.
Vordemark's first free throw clanks off the front of the iron.
I think I did the old announcer jinx on her there. It's a powerful thing, that announcer jinx.
It is. Vordemark's second free throw. Out. Do we have a lane call a lane violation there?
So she'll get another shot. So she's been 0 for 2 here after making her first 4.
Oh, they called Bauman not being on top of the key. They called her on the wing. She's got to stay on top of the key. Oh. And that official's explaining it, and Vordemark will get that right back. And Schroyer will check in the ball game for Vordemark. So yeah, you got to stay in the lane till the the ball releases from the hands. But she didn't stay on top of the key there.
Yeah, you can't stay on the side. Years ago, they used to. Before they had that rule, some players would stay in the corner, and they kind of crash the boards right before it hit the backboard.
Trying to get the ball up to Schmidt. Olivia Foy breaks it up. Hudgens looks, and you hear Coach Foster telling her to go to the basket. She goes, she drives to the basket. Shot no good. It's tipped out by Dickman.
Didn't fall there, but boy, Sidney looks a lot better on offense. They have a little bit pep in their step. Broke that drought. They had 6 points only in the first quarter, 11 this quarter.
2.5 minutes still to play here till half. Both teams in the bonus here until halftime. And they work the basketball around. Schmidt on top of the key. Over to Bauman on the left wing. Try to look for Lind on the inside. To Lind. Back over to Schmidt, gets it knocked away by Jada Schroyer. Foy comes up with it, back over to Hudgens. Hudgens wide open, they lost her in transition, and Kira Hudgens with the easy lay-in.
I don't know how you lose her in transition, but yeah, just parted like the Red Sea.
Yeah, it looked like she was going to face someone that's going to stop her, and all of a sudden she just glided to the basket, and there's a reach called on Foy.
Number one rule of defending the fast court break is you got to stop the ball.
Yeah.
Make the person that's driving pass it there.
Khalees McNeil will come in, looks like, for Foy here, as Lind will go to the line and shoot 2.
Coach Jamal Foster in his 5th year. Very good record. He came over, Sidney was 0-23. He came over in his season since then, 15-8, 16-6. 19-6, 19-5, which included an 18-0 league record last year, and right they're on their way with the 9-3 record. He's done a heck of a job turning this Lady Jacket program around.
Yeah, I remember calling his first career game he coached at Sidney, and you can tell he winless the season before, and that was the first year of the Allie Stockton era that concluded and capped off last year. And
she's playing at Findlay, right?
Yep. And very, very good job as Jamal Foster done, the alumni of Sidney, a 2007 graduate. Khalees McNeil with the ball in the corner. Back over to Jordan Scully. Scully out near the half-court line. Scully still scoreless yet in this game. Leads the league in scoring here in the Miami Valley League. Khalees McNeil on the inside to Foy. Shot up, no good. It's off Dickman, and it'll be Greenville basketball.
Couldn't get that to fall. But I like what Sidney does. They are very unselfish. They're always looking for the better shot for their teammates. Nobody's looking for their shot first, and there'll be a foul in the backcourt, so we'll go to the other end to shoot 2.
A foul there on Dickman. That's her second. And say at least spread out the fouls if you're Sidney. Dickman is the first one on the floor to get her second one.
Yeah, I guess that's good planning to spread them out, I guess, huh?
I guess, you don't have one person in foul trouble. You just got a bunch of people could be in foul trouble.
Second player with 2 fouls with Hutchins with 2 as well. Schmidt on the line looking for her first shot. Nice soft roll.
And really probably a pleasure for Coach Kearns to see a little bit of scoring. No points until about the 5.5-minute mark in the second quarter. So no good. It's poked out. Schroyer will track it down, and it'll be Sidney basketball.
Greenville's definitely come out. They've played inspired. They've played hard. You can tell, like Coach Kearns said, one of their keys, they wanted to close the gap from the last time. I think they were a little embarrassed at how it turned out.
Yeah.
They're still behind, but they have been definitely much more competitive. Of course, Sidney a lot of trouble.
Schroyer with that basketball, goes on the baseline, gives it up to McNeil on that right wing. McNeil gets it. McNeil hands it back to Scully. Scully back over to Larkin Vordemark. Vordemark trying to look to drive. Vordemark hands it off to Scully. Scully to the basket. I'm going to say a jump ball. Good call there by the official. It'll stay Sidney basketball.
Yeah, some people in the fan slow was traveling, but no, the correct call there was hand was on the ball, which caused her to take the extra step. But both hands on the ball for the jump ball. Alternate possession stays with the Yellow Jackets.
We get Scully open. She can finally pull that trigger, and she gets too much on it. But the rebound by McNeil is short. Jump ball. Arrow favors Greenville.
If you're Scully and she hasn't shot a shot since warm-ups.
Yeah.
So that's about at least a half hour ago.
Oh, yeah.
So hit the first one would be pretty impressive, but I bet it still felt good to get a shot off.
Hoffman goes that left side, gives it up over to Jada Lyons, and throws it over the top. Yeah, another turnover.
25 turnovers now between the two teams. We should give some credit to the defense that's caused all these turnovers. Hutchins comes in on the offensive possession as Coach Foster wants to go to halftime with a couple more, 2 or 3 more points.
Yeah, safe to say, you probably don't want to bring it down and have another defensive possession with all the girls with one foul. just settle here for one shot and go into halftime and talk about it. Hutchins tries that right side, clears it out. Try to give it up to Foy. It's turned over. And a jump ball in favor of Sidney. They have 2.7 seconds to get a shot off here.
And it'll be an alternate possession. Will be with Sidney here, so got bailed out with the alternate jump ball.
And the Porter mark, quick shot off. Barely tickles the twine there, and that'll be the first half of basketball. 19-9, Sidney leads over Greenville. We'll step aside, come back to the first half stats and recap here next on your home for Sidney Yellow Jacket basketball in Kate's Oakland Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our four-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Halftime here at the Hive here at Sidney High School. It's a 19-9 lead for the Sidney Yellow Jackets over the Greenville Lady Green Wave. Let's take a look at our first half numbers brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And here with those numbers, Mr. Dave Knapke.
Thanks, Brandon. First, the Yellow Jackets, just 3 players have scored. Kara Hutchins with 8. Larkin Vordermark with 7. That's 5 free throws in that number of 7. And Khalees McNeil with 4. Shooting, they're shooting 28% from the field, 7 of 25. Inside the arc, 7 of 20. 0 of 5 on their threes, 5 of 8 on their free throws. Greenville's actually had 4 different players score, led by Avery Ballman with 3, Megan Lynn with 3, Jaden Lyons with 2, Brooke Schmidt with 1. A struggle offensively, just 3 of 14 from the field, 3 of 12 on their twos, 0 of 2 on their threes, 3 of 6 from the foul line. Turnovers been a problem for both teams, 14 for Greenville, 12 for Sidney. Rebounding in favor of Sidney, 18-8. So, you know, Greenville's done a nice job of that boxing. When we keep talking about it, I think we should mention who's the defender has been. Jada Lyons,
Yeah.
number 4, has done a nice job of keeping. Scully only has had 1 shot, and that's pretty impressive when Scully averages close to 17 points a game. Greenville played much better offensively in the second quarter. So did Sidney. They got it going offensively a little more up-tempo. Of course, they want to run and gun as much as they can. Greenville's stopping them from just being full-bore fast break. Greenville's made some nice adjustments from when they played in late November when Sidney blew them out. But Sidney's still in control with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and really, like you said, they have not got those live ball turnovers here. And
yeah,
Sidney going to adjust their starting lineup. They're going to start with Cameron Edwards in the lineup over Jada Schroeder. This half we go to a little bigger lineup here.
Yeah, they like to start Edwards when they have like bigger post players. They play Schroeder when they have a smaller, they want to run and more of a passing type offense.
Schmidt with the basketball. Try to get the give and go to Bauman. She goes back out to the left wing. Tip over. Scully. The pressure. A lot of City players sit with 1 foul. We talked about, and the ball turned over there to start the second half.
Talked a little bit about the record. Sidney, let's talk about the divisions. The Valley Division, Sidney leads 8-1 overall. Stebbins a game behind at 7-2. West Carrollton at 6-2. Xenia 4-5. Fairborn looking for a league win. On the other side, it's Butler 7-2, followed by Tip, Troy, Greenville, and Piqua. That's in the Miami Valley Division.
City's won that overall Miami Valley division the past 2 years, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the third year. I'm thinking around of the
third
NBL.
or fourth. Yeah, fourth. I want to say it's third or fourth.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ball gets inside to Khalees McNeil, and she has 6 points now.
Did a nice job working her way underneath there, so she had a good angle to bank it in.
21-9 now. Sydney lead up to a dozen here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Bauman trying to find the ball on the inside. Gets it over to Brooke Schmidt. On the inside to Lynn. Lynn going up. Her shot no good. Lynn gets her own rebound, but sticks it right back in for Megan Lind.
When Lynn's had an opportunity to shoot, she's a pretty solid basketball player.
Larkin Vordemark eyes it, flies it, gets in and out. And Greenville will push it back here on offense.
Sidney 0 of 6 on their threes. They shoot 34% on their threes on the season. Just can't hit them tonight.
We have a jump ball here. Arrow favors Sidney. Scully will walk it up. Scully tries to go to that right side, gets over to Hudgens, and she turns it over.
Sidney has had a lot of passes go through people's hands.
Yeah.
Just like that one. Just wasn't caught. And those are the little things. If you're not quite concentrating, it can slip through your hand pretty quick.
Bauman with the basketball. They try to get it on the inside. It's turned over. Sidney Length creates a turnover, and there's a foul there on Megan Lind. 5:57 to go here in the third quarter.
Brandon, the basketball season is the longest sports season. It's a month longer than football season and everything. And sometimes I think you get clunkers, so to speak, like this, where it just isn't your night. More so than the one game a week like football or some of the other sports. And, it's just what happens when you have a 22-game season.
Vordemark for the three, and it clanks off the iron. Yeah, you play 22 games, and sometimes it's hard to put it together. I mean, you even see the best teams. I mean, even like Sidney, just struggling tonight to shoot. It just happens. Sometimes you try to have an explanation to why things just didn't happen. Sometimes it's just not your night, and sometimes it's harder to explain it than just that, because that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's Wednesday night. Sometimes we forget these kids were in school all day, and depending on what they had going on, they got a lot going on besides just basketball.
Jump shot there, no good. Khalees McNeil cleans the boards, and hey, you're focused on schoolwork or whatever else is going on and social life and stuff like that. Shot blocked by Vordemark. She gets the rebound and sticks it back in.
Nice job by Vordemark with sticking with that on the second stick back.
Vordemark now with 9. Got the game high honors as of right now. Sydney back out to a dozen. Ball on the inside. Schmidt gets it back up to Lind. They're working around the arc. They work around to Bauman, who shoots the three. No good. Backside cleanup by Megan Lind. And we're going to have a discussion. They got blood on the floor, I think maybe.
They didn't call anything for throwing an elbow or
Jordan Scully's down there in the corner. And we're going to have these guys go off the floor, and we'll step aside here. And after a word from our sponsors here on your home for Sidney basketball and K-Toko Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Back here on NK-Toko Sports, it's 23-13. Here, Sidney ahead of Greenville after that long delay, and we're back underway.
Both teams have only scored 4 points in this quarter. We're halfway through it. Nice pass to Edwards.
Good recovery defense there by Greenville. They have Scully still out. She stepped on the line. Scully taken to the locker room.
Yeah, hopefully she's okay. She must have got an inadvertent elbow. And
Neal tips it out of bounds. It'll stay Greenville basketball. They try to go long here. They give it up there over to Loudy. She's fouled going down the sideline. Up by Jada Schroyer.
I always think the worst thing you can do, really in a lot of sport, like football as well, is when you reach in and then you put your hands back like you didn't do it. It just makes it obvious that, oh, maybe you did something.
A good way of putting it. And there's a steal by Hudgens. Hudgens, 2-on-1 break. Nice give to Vortemark, who finishes it off.
Very impressive. Hudgens, she's just fun to watch in the open court.
Now, and you mentioned this earlier, now Scully kind of out of the game. Now Greenville's not in that box and one at all.
Yeah, it kind of threw off the Sidney offense, and there's Aubrey Baumgartner with the basket.
Megan Loudy there.
Oh, wrong one. Got the wrong number there. I'll let the play-by-play to you, Brandon.
Megan Loudy with the basket there, averaging 9.3 points a game. She gets her first bucket there. And Kira Hudgens with the bucket. And like you said, Dave, she's having a great game here on the offensive end.
10 points. And her game isn't just points, it's steals, assists. She mentioned, described her very well before as the floor general.
Ball kick back out to Bauman. She's going to take the deep two. That shot rolls out. Cameron Edwards clears the boards. Hudgens looking to push the break. Outlet pass to Vortemark. Vortemark spins around, drives on the inside, and she's fouled. Schmidt had the block, but I think she got fouled from behind.
What a luxury to have when you're Sidney and your leading scorers out of the game and their offense is flowing, and you have a scorer like Vortemark and Hudgens at 13 and 10. Not too many teams have that type of depth in scoring.
Jordan Scully returns back to the Sidney bench as Kendall Dickman, Olivia Foy will come in for Sidney, and coming back in for Greenville is Jada Lyons. As Edwards and Schroyer head out. Vortemark again, another trip to the line. She splits the pair. 27-15 Sidney now. With a dozen-point lead. Overpass, it'll be a over and back violation there on the Lady Wave. And Sidney will take it out right in front of their own bench.
Coach Foster, I commend him, is like, it hasn't gone well. Sidney has not played at times. He's yelled very few times. He hasn't, where you see some coaches lose their mind, it seems at times. She stayed pretty calm on the sidelines.
Hudgens pirouettes along the baseline. Comes back out. Goes to Vortemark on that left side. Laughing and run through the offense here. It's a high ball screen from Dickman. Sidney willing to be patient here. Vortemark just tosses it to the right side to Foy. Foy trying to drive to the basket. He gets blocked there. Dickman gets blocked there twice by Schmidt that possession.
Schmidt is effective around that basket, blocking and rebounding.
Lind with the basketball out on the arc. 1:45 to go here in the third quarter. Brandon Cover and Dave Knapke giving you the action here on NK Telco Sports on this Wednesday night Miami Valley League showdown. Bauman trying to work on the inside. He kick it out. Three-pointer. No good there by Greenville. Long rebound, Vortemark. She looks to stop in transition. Fire a three. Got it. Larkin Vortemark buries a three-pointer, and Sidney up ahead by 16.
That is the first three for either team after, I think, about 12 attempts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think we had a three-pointer. Yeah, it's 31-15, and Greenville loses the basketball. They get it back out to Bauman, and she walked. as Scully returns.
Good to see Jordan back into the game. Looks like a little tape on her right eyebrow, and I'm sure she wants to get into the scorebook. And as she comes into the game, she's right next to her shadow, also known as Jada Lyons.
Yeah, like you said, she's done a great job. It's sometimes, that defense, that stuff doesn't show up in the box score, but she's done a great job on Jordan Scully. Sidney still with the 16-point advantage. They get the ball to Scully right away. Scully trying to drive and has a couple Lady Green Wave players crash in on her, and they force a jump ball, which will create a turnover.
Hutchins got it to Scully. I'm sure Scully's teammates are aware that she hasn't scored either, and they want to get her in the flow as well.
Ball inbounded Schmidt. They get the basketball up. Over to number 13, Loudy. Megan Loudy with it. Flip over to Bauman. Bauman trying to drive, and there's a foul. It's going to go against Scully. That'll be her team's second. .1 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Greenville trying to cut into the 16-point deficit. Get the ball into Schmidt. We said Schmidt leads the Miami Valley League in rebounds, second in blocks. We got another foul against Sidney. That's going to go against Scully again.
Yeah, her third. She had a lot of bottled up energy.
Yeah.
It's trying to make something happen.
One thing, they honor grandparents night. Jordan Scully's grandma takes tickets here. Every time I walk in, she's always taking tickets.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's maybe an offensive foul there on illegal screen again.
Yep.
I think we have the record for illegal screen calls. So we're up to 6?
Five or six. I think we're up to 5. Because most of them were called in the first quarter. But yeah, Jordan's grandma always taking tickets. Always a pleasure when we walk in here.
Yeah, it's those volunteers. Seems like people that take tickets, they don't just take it for a year or two. They're like long-time ones. It's really appreciate all those people that donate their time.
Might know some people that take tickets. Third quarter ends here as the Sidney Yellow Jackets get 12 points that quarter. They lead 31-15. Heading into the fourth quarter of action here on your home for Sidney Yellow Jacket basketball in Kate's Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Back here on NK Toco Sports, it is 31-15. Sidney ahead of Greenville, and scoring picks up for Sidney that quarter. It stays about even, actually about 12 points, but finally getting a little better here after a rough first quarter.
Larkin Baltimore had a nice quarter, 8 points. She's at 15 over her average of 13. Hutchins also in double figures with 10.
Called 3 seconds in the lane there.
Well, you don't see many 3 seconds calls either. We're getting the obscure calls here tonight. 18 turnovers are on Sidney. They're used to causing that many in the other teams, but not committing that many.
Like you said, sometimes it's just like you just have with those 22-game seasons, you just have some of those nights where it's not going away. But fortunately for Sidney, they're still up 16 points. Ball goes on the inside. Nice shot with the left hand there by Megan Lynn.
Lynn leads the Lady Wave with 9 points.
They find Scully in the middle of the lane. Can't hit the scoop shot. Lady Waves still have an uphill battle to climb here, trailing by 14. Bauman with the basketball. It goes to that left side. Trying to get it back up over to Bauman. And she dribbled it over the backcourt line and over and back, and a turnover for Greenville.
And the turnover caused by Kiera Hutchins. Just always that constant pressure. I would not want to be the point guard playing against Sidney with her guarding me everywhere.
No.
She's a boundless source of energy.
Very active and very all over the place. Does a great job. And the senior on this team, the other seniors, Lauren Conley, Anjanae Cotton as well, and Cameron Edwards, also 4 seniors for Sidney that'll graduate off this year's roster. So yes, for those of you wondering, Larkin Vordemark, who gets the bucket, and Jordan Scully will also be back next year.
Nice pass there to Larkin, out with 17.
On that left side. To Bauman, to Schmidt. Schmidt trying to rip through, gets it to Bauman, who's going to fire a 3, and it's no good. Hudgens looking to push the break, gives it up over to Vordemark, she'll reverse course, go back out. Try to shot on the baseline, but Vordemark will turn it over.
I checked the stats. Normally, Sidney only commits 12 turnovers a game. They're at 19 tonight.
Definitely one of those outliers. That's the math people would say.
That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it for not playing a very good game and still being up by 16 is Scully still can't hit the shot. You know, there's a lot of teams that they have to be at their best to win a game. And it's a luxury to have an off game like Sidney clearly has had tonight and still be comfortably in front of this game.
We got a full timeout here on the floor. We'll take it with them. 5:50 to go here in the ball game. Sidney up 33-17 on your home for Sidney Yellow Jacket basketball. NK Toko Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here on NK Toko Sports out the Precision Strip timeout. 5:50 to go here. Sidney holding on to a 16-point lead.
You're listening to us live. If you're not doing anything on Sunday, you can stream us doing the MLK Classic over in Fort Laramie or take a drive over to Fort Laramie. 6 games, some great games. Local teams playing some great state teams. And we'll have all the coverage on NK Toko Sports.
We'll start out at noon with Laramie and Mohawk, and then at 1:30 it'll be Dublin Jerome and St. Mary's. At 3 it's Tri-Village and Marion. At 4:30 it's Russia and Antwerp. 6 o'clock is Minster Toledo Christian, and 7:30 Anna Arlington. And you'll be calling 2 games, I'll be doing 2, and so will Dave Helmstetter as well.
Impressive you remember all 6 games. I remember the 6 local teams. Now you set them all, and there's a lot of good games. I know the matchup for Russia against Antwerp, they were undefeated as of last week. So 2 undefeated teams. I imagine they both be state ranks. I think the state rankings come out this week.
Yes, I believe Antwerp was just outside the top 10. Russia was ranked 2nd or 3rd, I believe. And Tri-Village Marion, that'll be a great matchup. One of the top teams in the MAC against one of the top teams in the WOAC. Tri-Village is tied with Preble Shawnee, and I believe Marion just has 1 MAC loss right now.
Yeah, I think they've only played 1 MAC game. Minster plays Toledo Christian, has some really good players on Toledo Christian. Minster trying to find their way, overcoming some injuries and some health problems that a couple players have had. Trying to overall a lot of talent on the Minster Wildcat team. So a lot of good. It's good. I think it's the 3rd year for the MLK Classic. It's 2nd year they've had 6 games. So come on out or listen to us on NK Toko Sports. Another basket by Megan Lynn. She's now up to 11.
Yeah, she's quietly had a nice night, surpassing her season average now of 9.5 a game. Vordemark just got lost track by the Greenville defense, gets those 2 points back quickly.
You know, Scully can't breathe without them noticing. They left Vordemark wide open in the lane, and she's up to 19.
I think Larkin's benefited from that. She averages 13 a contest. She's at 19 now, like you said. So while Scully, obviously has not scored yet, she's at 19 points. That's the third foul here on Sidney. Oh, one more to give with the new free throw rules this year. Which you hear mixed opinions about it. Some people like it, say it improves the pace of play. Some people say, it's a little different, as Hudgens with the steal, trying to corral herself.
Ooh,
and
nice save to keep it in.
They're going to call a foul away from the ball. It's going to be against Hudgens, her fourth.
As active as she is trying to steal the ball, that's just kind of a occupational hazard. Boy, she saved that ball from going out of bounds.
Yeah.
But you can't, somebody else has to touch it. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Where they saved and just touched it to keep it in.
Lynn gets the ball up ahead. That baseball thrown pass, it's stolen by Vordemark. Hutchins shoots up ahead. Lind is down behind the play and is down on the floor. The shot is up and good by Hudgens. We'll step aside here. Precision strip timeout. Sidney, 37-19.
We are here and here and here. Mr. Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Mr. Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
3:49 here to go in the fourth quarter. It is 37-19. Sidney ahead of New Bremen, and Megan Lind able to walk off. Good. She's getting looked at here by a trainer. Hopefully she's all right.
Yeah, hopefully she's okay. It didn't seem like she was in a lot of pain. Best wishes for Megan Lind, a junior. She's had a nice game.
Ball being worked around the arc here. Bauman. Sidney trying to a little bit of a zone trap here in the half court. Chip defense by Larkin Vordemark. Now they're going to call a foul late. Vordemark reached there, and it's going to be 2 free throws here for Greenville.
Greenville's been down the whole game, but they have not let up at all. They are still with the same energy and fight that they've had from the beginning of the game.
2 shots coming up here now for Brooke Schmidt. Been held under receivers an average of 6.1 points a game, and Schmidt's hierarchy shot rattles out. But these teams, again, in the Miami Valley League, and we could tip Canoe, Butler, Troy, Greenville, Sidney, Piqua, Fairborn, West Carrollton, Stebbins, Xenia. Second free throw, no good.
Well, all these teams in the old, there's a travel on Hutchins. This league came out of the old, GWAC. Get my conferences at GWAC. And they changed it around. A few of them, kind of the smaller schools, wanted to regroup, and I think it's turned out pretty good.
The GWAC still exists, but I go by, and Fairborn's actually building a brand new school, and you go by there on 675. I actually was on 675 the other week and passed a Sidney bus on my way that was going to when they played at Fairborn. Fairborn building a new school and a new facility down there.
Yeah, Fairborn a pretty good size. This is a better size league school-wise for Sidney, who's definitely one of by far the smaller teams in the GWAC.
Shot no good by McNeil. Hutchins going up, and Hutchins will shoot 2 free throws.
Sidney tomorrow has a rare non-league game. They host Centerville tomorrow. Usually their league is pretty well consistently Wednesday and Saturday, their games. So they have a back-to-back there Wednesday and Thursday and turn around and play on Saturday. I can't say that I know much about Centerville, but a much bigger school than Sidney.
I think one thing that's nice, we play on these Wednesday nights. Most girls in the MAC, Shelby County generally play Thursday, Saturday. You get more officials too on these nights.
That's
as well.
true.
It spreads out things for the officials as well.
Because a lot of schools, Wednesday is a dark night. There are no games, at least, maybe some practices. They have religious type classes that's usually on Wednesday night. So yeah, that does make a chance. You got to do anything you can to have officials these days, which I think you see some younger officials coming on, but it'll be a challenge in the years ahead.
Olivia Foy coming back in the lineup along with Jada Schroyer. 2:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bauman with the basketball. They're going to fire a three. Greenville's yet to hit one. And the drought continues. Scully with the rebound. Scully at scoreless. Hands it up to Schroyer. Schroyer's layup is good.
Good job by Scully pushing the tempo, and Schroyer with her first 2 points.
And there's the assist from Scully.
It's only the fourth Sidney player that have scored. It's been Larkin Vortemork with 19, Hutchins with 14, McNeil with 6, and now Schroyer with 2.
Schmidt rebound and traveled. Under 2 minutes to go here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And
so Greenville will go, or I'm sorry, not Greenville, Sidney will go to 10-3 on the season. And in the league now, that will make them, look at my numbers right, 10-3 overall, now 9-1. They have a one better record by a game over everybody as Butler got upset. I think Stebbins knocked him out last week. So,
ball up on the left side to Schroyer. She'll fire a three. It's too much on it. Scully saves it as there's a line change. Here we got a whole lot of new players in here. Number 11, Elise Fugate. Number 15, Sarah Loudy in the lineup. Number 23, Ava Loudy. As Loudy goes up with a shot and misses it. So number 5, Jaden Norris in the lineup. A bunch of new players in here as we got a timeout for Coach Foster. Just 30 second here for subs, and Coach Kern just saying, play on. I've kind of seen that more often in the past few years where coaches will take timeouts to get subs in or say, hey, just keep playing.
I like that because otherwise you don't. The clock will keep running and the subs never get in. The point is to get them into the game. They've been practicing all week. It's good to get some floor time.
And I kind of been seeing that, and coach just forgiving the time and say, hey, let's just keep playing. I don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
At this point, you know Sydney's going to win, and hey, let's not waste the 30 seconds. Let's just get going here and let's just play. It's a good thing to do. I like seeing that. It's kind of that thing of pace of play.
Yeah, it's a school night. By the time Greenville gets home, it's going to be close to 10 o'clock, so got to keep it moving.
That post-entry pass on the inside will be taken away there by substitution. Ajane Cotton in the lineup. Cotton goes to the basket, and she's blocked. Ajane Cotton in the lineup along with number 3, Brooke Douglas.
I think that was a block with Sarah Loudy. It was a nice block.
Olivia Foy had 3 Green Wave players crash on her immediately. Schroyer with the basketball. Schroyer is up to Douglas, who it slips right through her hands, and it'll go right back over to Greenville.
Up to 46 turnovers between the two teams. I'm sure neither coach is real happy about that tonight, but Sidney can afford to be a little happier about it.
Yeah, we're going to take home a nice win here. Again, it'll advance to 9-1 in the Miami Valley League. As kick will keep it with Greenville. And then, like I said, Sidney will be back in action tomorrow against Centerville. And they'll sweep the season series against Greenville.
And they have at Troy coming up. Some of the big games on the 20th, they're at Stebbins. They're a game ahead, just a game behind of Sidney. And then on February 3rd, the second last game, they play in Vandalia Butler, the only team to beat Sidney in the league.
Ball tipped out. We'll stay with Sidney.
So it's probably going to be about 2.5, 3 weeks. We'll be talking about tournament draws.
Wow. Yeah. It seems like that creeps up right after the new year.
Yeah. Get through the new year, you think, oh, it's still a young year, and you're already halfway through, especially the girls. And then Sidney, last year was a little disappointed. They didn't go real far in the tournament trail, hoping for better things this year. So they have a very nice team. Coach Jamal Foster doing a nice job with this squad. Some good things ahead for the rest of the season for the Lady Jackets.
Schroyer. This ball poked away. It'll stay with Sidney. 13.5 seconds here, and Sidney will get the victory here tonight. Again, get to their 10th win. This will be 5 seasons in a row that they've at least had 10 wins, and Cameron Edwards will put the cherry on top here tonight.
Senior, her first 2 points tonight.
And shot at the horn is good. And that's made there by number 15, Sarah Lowdy, and that'll do it here tonight. A 43-21 victory here for the Sidney Yellow Jackets here on NK Telco Sports over the Greenville Lady Green Wave. And we'd like to thank our sponsors here on NK Telco Sports tonight, because without them, we would not be able to bring you this action here tonight against these 2 schools here on NK Telco. And our sponsors, if I can get up here. I can find my sheet. Well, let's go through the box. Let's go through the box score here. Here for both teams. Let's go through for Sidney. Kira Hudgens led with 14 points. Cleese McNeil with 6. Jordan Scully didn't score, but 2 from Jada Schroyer. There was 19 for Larkin Vordemark, and 2 for Cameron Edwards. For Greenville, they had 3 for Avery Bauman, 2 for Jada Lyons, 2 for Megan Lowdy. Megan Lind had 11, and 1 for Brooke Schmidt as well. Let's take a look at those sponsors here, brought to you here on NK Telco Sports. They are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwieterman, Beckman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Koki Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. And let's take a look at our post-game stats brought to you by Green Lake Health Systems.
Yeah, our team stats, first for Sidney Yellow Jackets, they shot 16 of 44 from the field, 15 of 35 inside the arc, 1 of 9 they struggled on their 3-point shooting, 1 of 9. Let me total up the free throws again. They are, let's see, they are 7 of 12 on the night. For the Green Wave, they were 9 of 31 on their from the field, 9 of 23 on their 2-pointers, 0 of 8 on their 3-pointers. Overall, from the free-throw line, they were 3 of 10. So, again, the overall shooting, 9 of 31 for the Green Wave, 16 of 44 for the Yellow Jackets. Turnovers, both teams struggle with the 24 for Greenville, 22 for the Lady Jackets. Rebounding dominated by the Lady Jackets, 28-18. The Lady Jackets had 13 offensive rebounds.
Pretty good total there, and Sidney advances to 10-3. They'll take on Centerville tomorrow night, like you said, and advance to 9-1 in the Miami Valley League. And before we leave here tonight, we'd like to name our player of the game, brought to you by NK Telco. And
Larkin Vordemark, very nice game for the junior. Was Scully not able to score tonight? She really picked up the pace. 19 points on the night. Got to the foul line a lot with 6 free throws. Good night for the 5A junior, Larkin Vordemark.
Right, so Sidney will advance to 10-3 again and 9-1 overall in the Miami Valley League, and Greenville will drop to 5-8 and 2-7 overall in Miami Valley League play. I'll do it for us here tonight. We'd like to thank our crew here, Austin Ambergy back at the station, and for Dave Kanapke, I'm Brandon Coburn. For the final time here from the Hide, the Sidney Yellow Jackets defeat the Greenville Lady Green Wave 43-21. You've been watching a production of high school girls basketball here on NK Telco Sports.